One thing I love to do is talk.
I remember
Talk.
I remember the time.
One thing I love to do is talk.
It's wonderful, wonderful.
Talk.
I remember.
One thing I love to do is talk.
I remember the time.
Talk.
It's wonderful.
One thing I love to do
My
is talk.
wife was snooping around for a good neighborhood for us.
Talk.
She's very good at that sort of thing.
One thing I love to do is talk.
She found Tacoma Park and
I remember.
went out very early in the morning and
One thing I love to do is talk.
I remember.
came down the street and we said,
Talk.
You know,
not bad.
Wonderful.
One thing I love to do is talk.
Wacko.
Cool.
Talk.
you know.
I remember.
I remember.
I remember the time.
I remember.
Long time ago.
I remember the time.
I remember.
I remember.
the time.
I remember.
I took like mother-daughter classes there.
I remember.
And I remember one of the exercises was to be a sandwich.
So that was a long time ago.
Sandwich.
My co-op membership number is 48, and they're into the 6 digits or something now.
Sandwich.
I guess and thinking about my sojourn here in Tacoma Park, it has been home for me. It has been home for me. It has been home for me. It has been home for me.
And so these opportunities to contribute to building community are a treasure to me. And then I get to live in the community that I've helped to build. That's probably the best part of all.
I think Tacoma Park, Maryland has a very strong sense of identity, who they are.
Mainly because I think the progressive politics that's in the community engagement.
Very strong sense of what their aspirations are, how they want to be in the world.
I can see my life as long as I'm engaged, I'm happy.
And I think that is a good thing.
I see that democracy functions as a local community thing, where it's possible to know people and to get involved. I've been really interested in how places and people interact, how the built environment, as well as the natural environment, affects people and how people interact with it. 3-dimensionality. There was a sloping hill and it was a huge tree. And so we spent the summer, the A scale is one that's all about off vertical movement. And we spent the summer kind of reeling around off vertical in like super 3-dimensional, on this slope outdoors. And it was like my mind expanded. There was infinite 3-dimensionality and infinite possibility and space. And my body was connected and supported by that infinite space. And when I came back in the fall, I went and got a job waitressing. And it happened that the restaurant I was waitressing in was this long, narrow room. And it was like from this A-scale world, my whole world condensed down into this, what I'd call the sagittal dimension. Forward, back, taking turns. Forward, back, forward. This kind of back, forward, hand somebody a plate or the check, taking turns. Back. It narrowed down into like 2 dimensions and then maybe even 1. And the result was that I got I felt like I couldn't think anymore. Couldn't think of things. That sagittal dimension or plane taking turns is like, well, if you're not ahead, you're behind. If you're not up, you're down. It's a bipolar kind of experience of perspective.
And I remember the time.
I remember
the time.
So that was a long time ago.
I remember the time.
I remember.
I remember the time.
I
One
remember.
thing I love to do is talk.
It's wonderful, wonderful.
Talk.
I remember
I remember the time.
Talk.
It's wonderful, wonderful.
I remember.
Talk.
Wacko.
cool.
Talk.
You know,
It's
This
wonderful.
is like
One thing
junior
I
high
love to
school
do
and
is
high
talk,
school kids.
talk.
So the girls
I remember
all lined up on one
Cool.
side of the gym.
I
Talk.
remember.
And the boys all lined up on the other side of the gym, and the
Talk.
boys had to go ask the girls to dance.
so that was a long time ago.
It was 19
You know,
late 60s.
wonderful,
I integrated that high school.
Talk.
I braved the no man's land, and I walked all the way
Cool.
across. I walked up to the girl who I thought would be a good partner and asked her if she would like to dance, and she said no.
Talk.
I remember that was an experience. But the thing that I love the most about that school, my favorite memories of being there, particularly my first year when it was pretty difficult, was dance.
cool.
That to me is the only way I'm gonna age, age well.
Dance, I had the ability to ground me.
But all ages, that's the neat thing about
I
that.
remember.
you know,
Ailment operations, people still move, which is good, which is
I
important.
remember.
It's the soulful, just essence of who you are, who we all are as human beings. It's just it's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
I could turn around and walk back across the bench. Very traumatic.
One thing I love to do is talk.